In this video, a foamer's wet dream, some flowers, and a CSX MAC. Have you ever thought about how anything on a screen isn't actually moving but just still images close together? Anyway, here's Amtrak 42 rolling through Cresson. Today we're on a mission to photograph some RJ Corman power west of Cresson. For those who don't know, there's an RJ Corman short line right in the center of Pennsylvania. RJ Corman Pennsylvania Lines was started in late 1995 and currently serves 20 customers all across central PA over 243 miles of track. If you're going to go to this RJ Corman yard here in Cresson, just remember that where we were trespassing. We had a friend with us that knew RJ Corman and he showed us around. Do not go where we went unless you have explicit permission. So what did we see? Well, a pair of SD70Ms certainly caught my eye. 2645 and 2647 were acquired for the Pennsylvania lines in 2023 and 2022 respectively. Right next to them was RJ Corman 9002, a high-hood GP9 which is equipped with remote control and used for maintenance and storage. As for the engines on the other side of us, they are all ex-Norfolk Southern Dash 8s that are sitting here collecting dust and rust waiting to be scrapped. Also in the back was a little 65-tonner used for shunting around the scrap cars and engines. Back out in Cresson, a manifest came by while we were eating our food and I took a shot of it, including the Jordan spreader that sits right next to the pump house. For the DPUs, I was going to get a cool shot of the ACUs passing the pump house pump, but they cut off down by the rail fan platform and didn't come by us. The engineer came out on the nose to finish the procedure. We then moved down to Lily, where this cold train's engineer hit the horn for us as it rolled past. The next day we went out to catch NS25G, which had 8098 the Conrail Heritage Unit and 1069 the Virginian Heritage Unit, both on the head end. Yes, a truly epic lash-up. Well, we left home and on the drive up to Lily we got stuck behind a slow-moving crane truck which put us way behind, so by the time we got to Lily it was already coming around the corner. But both of us weren't satisfied with the shots we got in Lily, plus my friend didn't have enough time to get his camera out, so we raced down to Johnstown to try and jump it. We made it with barely enough time to spare and caught it going across the embankment west of the stone bridge. At this point, since we were so far off from home and we had nothing else to do, we decided to jump spots back to Altoona. While we were planning in the car, we saw a liquids train pass by the Amtrak station, and then we jumped down to South Fork, PA, where we had to race a coal train to this open spot. We got off the highway, and since the road we were driving on towards this spot paralleled the main line, we saw westbound headlights coming our way, so we booked it to the Y here. In Cassandra, as we were getting out of the car, we already heard an intermodal train coming. Then we had a bit of deja vu because another intermodal train came by in the same track as the last one with a virtually identical consist. A manifest came and met with the second intermodal, which was led by a sparkling clean C6M. After both trains cleared, everyone at Cassandra relaxed and went back to their spots waiting for the next train. There were like 6 old guys that got out of a minivan like a clown car that sat at the Norfolk Southern painted table, and we were sitting over at the bench in the shade. Well, we were all jump scared by this liquids train that nobody heard coming and surprised everyone. That's why this shot is basically from the vents, because I had barely enough time to open up my camera and film. Cassandra was getting a little packed for us, so we moved down to Kearney's Crossing and caught this trash train, which interestingly had engine 4444 trailing. Now, do you remember that liquids train we saw in Johnstown? Well, since it stopped for a while just outside Johnstown, we saw it again here at Kearney's. At this point, we had been waiting for Amtrak 43 to come, and it came in behind the liquids train. We got really lucky that the liquids train didn't block us and we got to see 43 zoom by us. A few days later, we were out rail fanning just to see what we could see. We started at the Brickyard crossing where we immediately saw Amtrak 43 again. As I was taking this shot, I was getting covered with ants because I inadvertently stepped on an anthill as I was crawling through the bushes. I felt them crawling up my ankle even before 43 reached the tracks next to us. But I wasn't about to stop the shot to shake off some ants, so for almost the entirety of this shot, I had ants crawling up my leg. The highest climber made it to my upper kneecap, but he was dealt with accordingly. Then there was a light power move, but I like to think that these guys made the mistake that everybody has made on a model railroad and just lost the car somewhere down the line when you weren't looking. Or they're carrying invisible freight, I don't know. After, I got a nice low shot of this intermodal passing on track 3, but sadly this intermodal blocked a manifest that had a CSX SD70MAC trailing. This was the best I could do from behind the intermodal, but I really hated this shot. I wanted to get a good video of the CSX MAC, so I started to leave, but as I was pulling out, a light helper set came through, so I filmed that straight from my car. Upon arriving at the North 8th Street Bridge, I found the MAC just arriving in front of me and stopping for a crew change. I also saw a bunch of stationary things that I only took a picture of, so here's what I saw at the North 8th Street Bridge. First off was a blurry set of ACUs, a yard switcher slug set, a Herzog dump train, a pair of ACUs messing around down the yard, a yard set with a high hood, a Sperry rail car, another ACU set, the crew change of the MAC manifest, and a bunch of CEFX patched units. Remember to subscribe, the like button, and hit the smash button, and thanks for watching. After filming some ACUs move around, a westbound intermodal came and met with the MAC train. Once the manifest was done with their crew change, it headed on its way east. The intermodal that met with the MAC manifest also stopped for a crew change, and once the manifest had cleared, I was treated to a three-way meet consisting only of ACU sets. First, these ACUs in the foreground moving around the yard, these ACUs going from one side of Rose Yard to the other, and these ACUs on the back of the intermodal. They weren't all right next to each other, but I still count it. Almost immediately behind the intermodal, an empty coal entered the north end of Rose Yard and met with the same helper set that met with the intermodal's DPUs. That would be the last train I saw here at the bridge, and that will also be the last train of this video. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go out and buy some milk. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day.